In the quiet river town of Point Pleasant, West Virginia, nestled where the Ohio and Kanawha rivers meet, life in the 1960s moved at a slower, gentler pace. Locals shopped at small family-owned stores, children rode bikes freely through tree-lined streets, and neighbors always had time for a front porch chat. But on a cold December evening in 1967, everything changed in the blink of an eye. That day, the town became the focus of national headlines, and its name forever linked with one of the most catastrophic bridge collapses in American history. The fall of the Silver Bridge. December 15, 1967, had started off like any other Friday. Christmas was just around the corner, and the town was buzzing with holiday preparations. The Silver Bridge, which connected Point Pleasant to Gallipolis, Ohio, was packed with cars. Shoppers were crossing the bridge to get to the larger stores on the Ohio side. It was an unusually busy day, but no one suspected the structure they traveled across daily would betray them so tragically. At approximately 5:04 p.m., as the sun dipped low and headlights glowed on the two-lane suspension bridge, the unthinkable happened. Without warning, a loud metallic groan pierced the air, followed by a sickening crack. Eyewitnesses described a surreal sight. Cars plunging into the icy Ohio River below, steel beams twisting and snapping like twigs, and plumes of water erupting as vehicles hit the river's surface. Chaos unfolded in seconds. Screams echoed across the riverbanks as terrified drivers tried to escape, and stunned onlookers could do nothing but watch the tragedy unfold. Tom Reynolds, a delivery truck driver from Gallipolis, was among the survivors. He'd been on the Ohio side, waiting for the light to turn green, when he saw the center span of the bridge crumble like a child's toy. His voice still trembled decades later when recalling the event. "It was like the earth just opened up and swallowed them whole," he said in an interview. One second there was traffic, lights, people heading home for dinner. The next, nothing. Just screaming and water and silence. Rescue efforts began almost immediately, but they were hindered by the icy water, poor visibility, and the sheer devastation. Divers from nearby towns, police, fire departments, and even the U.S. Coast Guard worked tirelessly to recover victims and search for survivors. The final toll was staggering. 46 people lost their lives in the collapse. Some bodies were recovered within days, while others weren't found until weeks later, still trapped in their vehicles beneath the frigid water. The tragedy shook the nation, but for the residents of Point Pleasant, it was personal. Families mourned lost loved ones, businesses shut down out of grief, and the town went eerily quiet. Funerals were held one after the other. A sense of safety had vanished. The bridge that had connected two communities had suddenly become a symbol of loss and heartbreak. The question on everyone's mind was simple. What caused the Silver Bridge to collapse? An investigation launched by the Federal Highway Administration and National Transportation Safety Board revealed a shocking truth. The bridge had been built in 1928 and was not designed to handle the weight of modern-day traffic. Its I-bar chain suspension system, innovative at the time of its construction, had a critical flaw. Investigators discovered that the collapse had been triggered by a single minuscule crack in an I-bar, known as I-bar 330. The crack, only 0.1 inch deep, had developed due to stress corrosion and metal fatigue. Over the decades, it had gone unnoticed. Without redundancy in its design, the failure of that single component caused a chain reaction that brought down the entire structure in under a minute. The collapse of the Silver Bridge led to immediate changes in how the country viewed bridge safety. Inspections became more rigorous, regulations were updated, and older bridges were retrofitted or replaced to avoid similar tragedies. In many ways, the disaster served as a grim but necessary wake-up call for America's aging infrastructure. But in Point Pleasant, the story of the Silver Bridge collapse took on another, stranger dimension. Many locals believe that the tragedy was foretold by sightings of a mysterious creature in the months leading up to the disaster. This creature, described as a tall humanoid with glowing red eyes and massive wings, came to be known as the Mothman. Beginning in November 1966, several residents of Point Pleasant reported sightings of the Mothman near the old TNT area, a former World War II munitions site. Among them were Roger and Linda Scarberry, a young couple who claimed they were chased by the creature late one night. Dozens of similar accounts followed. The sightings were so frequent that the town became a hub for paranormal investigators and curious journalists. Some believe the Mothman was a harbinger of doom, a supernatural warning of the coming catastrophe. Others think the creature was simply an urban legend fueled by fear and imagination. But for those who saw it, and for those who lost loved ones in the collapse, the connection felt real. In the aftermath of the tragedy, Mothman sightings virtually stopped, adding fuel to the eerie theory. The strange link between the Mothman and the Silver Bridge collapse was later popularized by author John Keel in his 1975 book, The Mothman Prophecies. The book combined real accounts with speculative theories, leading to even more fascination and intrigue. In 2002, a Hollywood adaptation starring Richard Gere introduced the tale to a global audience, ensuring that Point Pleasant's story would never be forgotten. Today, a memorial stands near the site of the bridge collapse, honoring the 46 lives lost on that dark December day. Nearby, the Mothman Museum draws thousands of visitors annually, eager to learn about the mystery and pay their respects. The town even hosts an annual Mothman festival, blending remembrance with celebration, sorrow with curiosity. For the people of Point Pleasant, the Silver Bridge collapse was more than a structural failure. It was a communal wound that reshaped their lives forever. It reminded them of the fragility of human life, the unpredictability of tragedy, and the strength of community in the face of overwhelming loss. And though decades have passed, the memories remain etched in the town's identity, whispered in stories, etched in stone, and reflected in the still waters of the Ohio River. Those who were there, like Tom Reynolds or Marie Jenkins who lost her father in the collapse, carry the legacy of that day within them. Marie, only 12 at the time, remembers her dad waving goodbye that afternoon. He never came home. Today, she volunteers at the local museum, sharing her story with visitors, not to seek sympathy, but to ensure no one forgets. Point Pleasant will always be a town of two stories, one of quiet resilience and community, and one of eerie mystery and unanswered questions. The Silver Bridge may have fallen, but the strength of the town endures, bridging the past with the present in ways that continue to captivate and inspire. As the Ohio River flows steadily beneath a new bridge built with care and precision, the people of Point Pleasant move forward, eyes on the future, hearts tethered to a moment in time that changed everything.